Hello, good afternoon. My name is Toyin Morafa, and welcome to our program Voice of the Voiceless. As usual, we'll be discussing about youth gang violence and the ways we can use to combat it. With me today are two gentlemen. One here is Mr. Leke Ajidagba. He is a survivor of knife violence. Thank you very much
Thank you.
for coming to the
Thank you for
show.
having me.
And on the other side, we've got Mr. Olumide Ojasope. He is a political journalist and he runs his own shows online. Thank you very much for coming to the
You're
show.
welcome for having me. Thank you very much.
All right. Without further ado, we'll be discussing all the things, all the issues that is happening with us right now. So, Mr. Ajidagba, could you give us a brief background about yourself?
Okay, my name is Leke Ajidagba. I'm 24 years old.
Right.
I'm currently in uni
All right.
from Nigeria, Ondo State to be exact.
All right.
And yeah, I'm in uni and I go to work at the moment, and I'm also looking to start my own business.
Right.
Yes.
About yourself. Okay. What about Mr. Ojasope?
Yeah, thank you very much, Toyin Morafa. My name is Ojasope Olumide. I'm a political analyst and then current affairs motivational speaker, online speaker. Yeah, I'm from Nigeria also. I'm a father, I'm a parent, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you both of you, for joining us on the show. The first question I'm going to have will be directed at you, Leke. I understand that in February of this year, 2018, you were a victim of knife crime. Thank God you are a survivor. But could you take us through that? What happened to you on that day and the experience that you had?
Yeah, basically on that day, I went out with my friend.
Right.
Because he just came from uni and we haven't seen for like 2 or 3 months.
Right.
Because normally you always see every weekend. But we haven't seen for like 2 or 3 months. So he called me and said, bro, I'm going to my house. Can you follow me?
Right.
I need to go get my camera because he lent it to him. I was like, okay, like I was here for 3 months. Let's go. Why not? Why not? And yeah, we went. And when I was coming back, it was like about 8 o'clock.
Right.
He was meant to come to mine to chill. Because yeah, like we normally stay at each other's house. He was meant to come to mine to chill, but because he's a director, he shoot video for like celebrities and that and things like that.
Oh, I
so he's like, he got a call saying he has work the next day. It was an emergency.
Right.
So he went to a hotel, and I just went home. On my way home, I went through an alleyway that I normally go through because that's the easiest way for me to get home. If I had to go another way, it would be much longer. So I went through there, and I was listening to my music because I love music. I was listening to my music, and I came to some part of the alleyway, and suddenly I saw a car driving towards me.
Right.
But I never thought nothing of it because car drive there every time anyway, so it's not really a big deal. So I just listened to my music. When the car was coming, or suddenly he just stopped in front of me.
Oh, I see.
So like I don't know what kicked in. I just looked up like why are you stopping? There's no car in front of you. That kind of thing. Like you could go. And as soon as the car stopped, I saw the 2 back door open.
Right.
And when it opened, two guys came out of it wearing balaclavas. So suddenly, like, I knew that there was something ain't right. And like, why would 2 guys just come out of the car with balaclavas for no reason? So as soon as they came out, I was thinking, okay, it's time for me to run now.
Right.
Because I know London anyway. There's a lot of knife crime in that. So as soon as I saw them, I ran the other way. As I was running, they were chasing me, the 2 guys that came out.
Right.
And while they were chasing me, there must have been another guy in the car. There was another guy in the car. Because when they was chasing me, I was running like fast as I could. The person in the car started driving.
Right, so that was like the driver.
Yeah, like the driver started driving because the other 2 couldn't catch me.
Right.
So I was gonna take a turn and get on the main road where there could be help and that. And as I was about to turn, the guy that was driving came with a car and just smashed into me.
Right.
Yeah, like that. I lost balance, and while I was on the floor, the other 2 I was chasing before I came up first, they caught me and stabbed me.
So how many times were you stabbed?
7 times.
Well, 7 times.
Yeah.
Can you show us the areas where you were stabbed?
I was stabbed over here, in my hand,
Right.
where one of my nerves got damaged, and I'm still going physiotherapy at the moment
Right.
to fix it back. I was also stabbed in my chest,
Right.
my leg, both of my leg. Yeah.
All right. So most of it now they've mainly healed,
Yeah.
apart from the
Apart from
that
for that
you're going for your
physiotherapy.
physiotherapy, and that leads to my next question: have you ever been involved in a gang?
Not really, like not a gang, but with I wouldn't call it gang because it's like me and my friends just rolling about, but we don't carry knife, we don't do things that.
Oh,
right.
right.
But it's like if I was to get in trouble, they're there for me, that kind of thing. And if I, because we're friends, we'll never let each other get bullied and just watch that kind of thing. And so, like, if there was to be trouble, I'm there for them. And if I also get in trouble, they're there for me, that kind of thing. But it's not a gang where we carry knife or we sell weed or we go look for trouble. It's just that when trouble comes, we're there for each other.
You're there for each other.
Yeah.
So do you think it's basis like this? Maybe the other people that came after you and tried to attack you, but they defending one of their own as well? Or do you really know the reason why they came after you? Or were you just in the wrong place at the wrong time?
To be honest, I don't really know why they're after me.
Right.
I don't really know why they came in the area. It could have been that something happened to someone in the area and they're looking for revenge, or it could just probably be eye on drug or something and just thought, listen to music at the same time and or that just filled them up like, what, let's just go do something and that kind of thing. Like if you're on drugs, sometimes you don't know what you're doing.
That's
it's
true.
like your body, you're like no conscious in that.
Yes.
So there could be a drug or like something could have happened to someone in the area and they just want revenge, that kind of thing.
Oh right. Yeah. Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Should anybody have any questions for any of my guests, feel free to send a text message or send anything on Facebook, and they're both happy to answer any questions. And that leads me to Mr. Ojasope. Listening to what Leke said, obviously most of our youth right now, the case of them being stabbed is being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Some of them don't even know the reasons why they've been stabbed. Is there anything you can add to that, as a concerned parent and someone that's been following all this, all the issues, the violence that's been happening in London recently?
Thank you, Toyin. I'm depressed with what's going on in London. It makes me look upset somehow. As a parent, I wasn't happy for this issue that has been going on. You remember, we have been talking about this for the past 2 years. I will be looking for a way out. You understand? And many parents have been trying, because no parent that would like to see their children battered or destroyed or killed. I know majority of our parents are even trying physically, spiritually, on everything. And then even the youth, I could recollect last year, is it last year or the one that happened last time, majority of the youth in London went to do vigil, going from house to house. Even the police are trying their best, even the mayor has even tried to bring, so everybody are putting their hands on deck, and then everybody are trying. But basically, what I will advise the parents to be doing is just to be up and doing and not to relent their efforts in making sure that our children are safe. Even the police, I think the police are trying, the government are trying to put more searching, stop and search, which has been yielding positive, because I've seen a lot of online that the children, they've seen a lot of our children carrying knife, and then the police are now able to search them and make some corrections. And that's what I can say for now.
For now. Thank you very much, Mr. Ojasope. That leads me to asking another question, Leke. How helpful were the police, during and after your attack, when you were able to stay in the hospital? How helpful were they? Were they able to come to your aid? Did they give you any support or assistance that you thought you really needed from them?
When it happened, after it happened, while I was in the hospital, the police came. They got my name and any cause that they think that could be the reason why it happened. And yeah, while I was in the hospital, they came and they spoke to me and everything like that. But after that, I haven't really after them. I mean, I've been calling them over and over again to hear what's going on. The last time I was at court, we spoke. They told me they're still going through investigation and that.
How long ago was this?
Like, when it happened.
Right.
Since it happened, that they're still going through investigation.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I haven't really had a call for them. I mean, I've called them like numerous times, about 5 to 6 times, and yeah, just same story. Like we're still waiting for the forensic to come back through and all that. So to be honest, I've lost interest in them myself. Because yeah, they should. If they, to me, I think if they find anything, they'll give me a call and let me know.
All right. So basically, so far you've received little or no support from the police.
Yeah.
Okay. That leads me to the next question, which is about the cost. You know, the police funding and the cost that we're having now. Do you think that also plays a detrimental, issue with regards to all this violence? Because if you don't have enough police to be able to handle this case, obviously they're going to just start doing what they like. So do you think this has a huge impact?
Yeah, thank you.
On what's happening now?
Thank you, Toyin. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think it's very, very important that the Metropolitan Police should be more funded. You understand? Because, yeah, I think there is a changes because I was in a bus yesterday. It has been happening before, but previously it has stopped that whenever you are in a crowded area in London, in the afternoon, especially when the students are out of school, you will see 2 or 3 police in the bus.
Right.
You will see them in the bus. You will see them in the train station. You will see police at that time that is crowded, in case there's going to be a crime or violence. But I think yesterday I saw something in London that has come back. I saw police now, policing everywhere when it is crowded, and I think that's best now. I think they are bringing it because people are clamoring that the police should be more funded. So all the courts and the lack of many police on the streets patrolling has caused a lot of this thing. Because when this thing happens, it might happen between 30 minutes.
Right.
And then we know British police, they respond rapidly. So that's, I don't believe that the stabbing will be going on for 30 minutes and you will not see any police. Even the police you can just see a police and it will call for a backup. I think the police are now changing. I think the government is yielding to the voice that is saying there should be more fund to the police, that more police should be on the street and more patrolling should be
on there. Okay, thank you very much. So I'm going to lead into another question. So, Leke, based on your experience, do you think revenge is a big factor for people joining gangs? Because obviously, if it wasn't like maybe the way it happened to you, it could have been the wrong way. You might be out there looking to seek vengeance as well. So, do you think that is a huge factor as well?
Yeah, I think it's a big factor in people seeking revenge. Like, for example, when it happened to me, I had people saying, like, do you know what they are? Like, let's go this side. But with the kind of person I am, I was like, no, like, it's not worth it. Because it would just lead into more things in there. Like, I could stab one of them and they could just come back to me, that kind of thing. Or someone I like. I was like, you know what, it's cool. You understand? I just thank God that I'm still alive. Like, I must have a purpose on this earth for God to spend my life in that. So I was like, just let's forget about it. It's nothing, like, and we should try to move on from here and turn the negative into positive and try to empower other youth or encourage the other youth not to seek revenge or not to be in gang, that kind of thing.
All right. Which is one of the reasons why you're here now. Very soon we're going to go to a clip that will show another victim of knife violence. This was a couple of days ago, and I think this happened in Hackney. You'll be able to see the clip of where the boy was laying on the floor and the knife was still embedded on him. This is just to show people how bad it is, and thank God we've got a knife crime survivor here that'll be able to at least let us be more empathetic when it comes to issues like this. But before we do show that clip, I would like to ask you, Mr. Ojasope, what areas do you think the governments and communities can, be able to improve in what's going on now to stop more people, from joining gangs, or at least try to combat the violence that we're facing now these days?
Yeah, Well, thank you, Tony, once again. The first thing I would want to advise is the parents.
Right.
I know the parents in London, especially the African mother, because all what has been happening, the observation is that mostly it happens to our African neighborhood.
That's true.
So, and then we have identified a lot of things that could cause it, a lot, a lot, a lot. But what we're going to do is, we're going to advise the parents that they should, whatever the circumstance, whatever the situation they have, they should remember the future of the children, which is very, very important. Because if they are looking at their own future, it might be just waste at the end of the day. So the children is our future. We have to look at them. We have to sacrifice to make sure that our children is being catered and they look after first. That is one thing. So if you are working very hard, I will know the African women, the African daddy, they work very well. We work hard for these children. But if you are working and then you don't come back and look at what your children are doing and you leave them, you don't know which friends your children are moving her way. Because if you go out, some will go in the morning, some will go in the middle of the night. And while you are out there in the middle of the night, you don't know where your children are. And then sometimes your children will leave home for long and then you don't even ask, where have you been coming from? Where are you going and what are you doing? And then sometimes you have to observe the attitude and the nature of your children. That's for the parents. So we don't say you shouldn't work, but sometimes you should relax on the work. Make sure that you focus more on your children. Observe what they are doing. Observe their behavior. If some children are on drugs, you will know. Sometimes you will see the way they behave and try to correct them. Try to tell them a bit about your life history and tell them about your culture. Because crime is not a good thing. Because I watch a film online. It's not a film, sorry. I watch a reality happening. A dad caught his son with a gun. You understand? He saw a gun. You know, that's why you need to be checking your children. You will sometimes you can see them. You can let me see you. Let me see your bag. What's in the bag? You can see a knife there. You can see a gun there. You can see drug there. You don't just leave your children to go about because you are in UK. You don't want to care about, And there's those children. Some of them they will be telling you, "I don't give a damn. I don't care," because the way the country system is. Now the guy just took the guy. He had the children, the son, and he saw a gun. He saw the son holding a gun. Right. You know what he did? He just dragged the son to the cemetery. He dragged him to the cemetery and tell him, "Look, son, this is where you're going to end your life. There is a tomb that is still opening there. Look, this tomb that is opening, this is where you are going to go in. This is where you're going to end your life." With the gun, the guy is with the gun. And then at the end of the day, the son started crying and hugged his dad. That, "Thank you, Dad, for showing me where I'm going to end. And I don't want to end up in."
I'm sorry to cut you off quickly, but can I just ask you, do you think it's shock tactics that we need? Shock tactics like that we need to educate this youth, to wake them up, to let them know that life is not a video game. This is about reality. You stab someone, that makes you a murderer, no matter what the circumstances, the excuse, whatever it is that's been done to you. Do you think it's shock tactics like taking them to the mortuary, letting them see what's happening live, taking them to visit prisons, among prison visits? Do you think those are the things we need to introduce now?
Yes, thank you, Tony. That's a good idea that I intend to talk about. One, the emergency. We need to be taking our children sometimes. Let them see, even if we didn't take them there, let them see a reality show.
Right.
They do many reality show, documentary. That is not film, because most of them, they are thinking they are watching movie, playing game most of the time, thinking, when you play game and someone drop dead, he will come again. You understand? Yeah. And then in a film also, somebody, if they stab him, kill him, he will come up again. They will still see him on the street. This is not a film show. It's a reality show. Tell them if they are dropped dead, they are gone forever. They will not. Nobody will see them. Maybe psychologically, most of them don't know that they are not coming back. Right. There are people who are going to miss them. Their friends is going to meet them. Maybe they don't know. So that is emergency. In emergency hospital, that is accident and emergency. Right. You try to take your children there. Go and let them see those people who is going to drop dead after they've been stabbed.
Right.
And then the mortuary also, they should let them know that these people that are in mortuary, they are no more coming back. They're going to be, even in this cemetery, is a system, is a system that can work. It's one of those things that our parents should be doing, and then our community also should be sponsoring such things. They can take these children, maybe they can make a conference, seminar to show them this reality and tell them that this is not a game, and this is not a movie, that is reality. Because stabbing themselves, some people don't know where they are going to end up to. Some people don't even go to the last respect places, so where they will say goodbye, and they will not say. Maybe that is why. I think that is one of the good tactics that our parents can start using and start telling. If you can't take your son physically to where they are burying or all those stuff, you can get a documentary that can show you, or if you see any sample of it on Facebook, you can tell them it's a real life. It's not like the one I told you. It's not a film. You will know film, computer game is different from reality.
From reality. Thank you very much. And that leads me.
Can I add it? I think what you said could work, but like someone my age already, I already know different like between a video game and real life. If I'm doing it for revenge, I know that my friend died from it, and it's not a game like I will come back to life. Like what you said could work, but also the people have to be responsible for what they do as well, and like the youth or whoever does it has to be responsible for what they do as well.
So when you say responsible, can you explain, shit on that a bit further?
Like we're old enough, we know the difference between a video game and reality. We know that if I know that if I stab someone right now, there's possibility of them dying and I'm coming back.
Right.
And there's no chance. Like it's rare before they survive. It's very rare for a person to survive it, depending on how I stab them.
Right.
So what you're saying is it could work, but we know that it's not a video game. We know that that's what I want to say. Like we know that it's not a video game.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Once again today, welcome to Voice of the Voiceless. Next to me we've got Mr. Leke Ajidagba, who was a knife victim survivor. I will not say a victim. Yeah. Well, who was a knife violence survivor. Thank God you're not a victim. You're not part of the statistics.
Yeah. And
on the other side of me, we have Mr. Olumide Ojasope, a political journalist. Thank you once again for coming on to the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Judging from what Leke said, I would like to ask you a quick question. What areas do you think we, as a society, as a community, as the government, and can we improve to stop more youth from joining gangs? Are there any shock tactics that we can use to wake them up and make them know that, like you said, once somebody has gone, they gone forever?
I think what you said before could work.
Right.
But the thing I've noticed is the government are trying. They're trying the best, and also the community is trying. It's just that the youth want money so bad. It's money. I think the problem to this is money, and like they want to show how big they are, how powerful they are, that kind of thing.
And is it about respect as well?
Respect.
Right.
Like, they want to be respected.
Right.
Maybe some of them are bullied in school, that kind of thing, and now psychologically, they mess them up. Right. Now they want to be respected in society, that kind of thing, and they want to drive big cars and things like that. And working 9 to 5, some of them won't be able to live the life they want.
Right.
If you sell drug, you're likely to make quick money and good amount of money if you can do it right. So I think, like, some of them see the peers do it.
Right.
Sell drug or do something, violent or something like that. Or go into crime, and I think they can get away with it.
Right.
So they also do it as well. They go that path and get quick money, and that if the government can give the youth free money, cars and house, then they could help. But if not, then there's nothing the government can really do. It's down to the youth themselves.
Right.
Yeah, it's down to the youth themselves,
That can do it.
To make changes in that.
And that leads me to ask you a very candid question. Have you ever, used a knife before? Have you ever walked around with a knife before, to protect yourself? Even after this happened to you,
No.
Have you ever carried a knife before?
Never, never. I mean, I was thinking about it, like, not when this happened to me. Like, when I was younger, I was thinking about it. Because in my area, I used to, I used to hear that my area's having gang wars with another area. So, to be honest,
are you talking about the postcode
yeah,
wars?
postcode wars. So, to be honest, like, I used to be scared for my life. So, and the thing is, when I speak to my friend, they tell me, like, the best way to protect yourself is to carry a knife.
Right.
Because before the police come and or think, sometimes the people that even stab you or do something to you, they won't get caught and they'll just get away with it. So the best way to protect yourself is to have your own protection in you. And protect yourself later, then you can, whenever you get in court, if you have a good lawyer, they could, help you out. And also with this country, like, if it's self-defense, you can get away with it. Or even if it's not self-defense, you're likely gonna do little years in prison anyway.
Right.
So if I know that there's someone out there or that could hurt me, I want to carry my own knife to protect myself.
Right.
Yeah.
So do you think that's like the mindset a lot of youth have, especially when it comes to what you've just talked about, which is like the imprisonment, going to prison or paying for your crime?
Yeah.
A lot of us feel that the punishment is not harsh enough.
Yeah.
Do you think if the punishment is harsher, that might at least combat it a bit?
Yeah, I think it will. I think if the government was to increase the amount of prison sentences that people have a knife or stabbing people go to, then I think it will reduce it, not stop it. It will reduce it a lot.
Yeah.
Because now, like before, I used to read a lot of news of stabbing in it, and sometimes like the people that stab people, like someone will stab someone, and you will get like community service for it. Like, if I know that I could get community service for killing someone, what's the big deal? I might as well just do it. I know the possibility of me getting community service, because I got HDSD or stuff like that. That should not be an excuse for someone carrying a knife and doing something. You got HDSD doesn't mean you're stupid and you don't know what you're doing. You still know what you're doing, and you should get. If you were to go commit a crime, you should be punished hardly for it, and that would also tell other people that if I carry a crime, this is what could happen to me. I could go to prison for a long time, and I don't want to do that. Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much, Leke. I'm going to ask a different question from you now, Mr. Ojasope. It's going to be like a 3-in-1 question. The past couple of months now is shown that most of the SAC victims, they've come, especially the ones that haven't really survived, came from the Nigerian communities. So a lot of blame has been, the people have been blaming us online or making it go viral, thinking that maybe it's because maybe most of them have got single moms and that's the reason, and they can't really control their children. I personally disagree with that issue, and the only reason why I disagree is that most of these single moms they're battling with their asylum, their immigration status. Most of them don't have papers. They have to get like 3 jobs just to make sure that their kids are okay. Now the kids see this, they don't want to go through all this struggle themselves, which is the reason why they normally associate, with all these gangs and they carry out all these illegal activities. How true do you think that is, and how can we encourage these women, despite the fact that they haven't got the legal right to be here, to put their children first above anything and ask and seek for help and assistance?
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, I've said it. I've said it once before concerning the parental care, and then how parents are playing with the future of their children because of they want to work or because they want to get paper. Yeah, the only thing first of all, I will advise the parents to try to relax in the way they work. Even if you look at it, and the government, I would like to use this opportunity to call government also to look into the parent issue. Right. Many parents are suffering and to survive the paper issue. Even the money the government are taking from the parents if they want to put in paper, and then the legal aspect of it. Because I can't blame the parents. Everybody wants to survive. Everybody wants to have a peace. And if you want to have a peace in a legitimate a way of staying in a country like United Kingdom, we are talking about thousands of pounds
That's
in order
true.
to put in a paper, even one child, and then even yourself and everything. It costs thousands of pounds. I think this is the reason why psychologically the parents cannot um, see to their children mostly, and then most of them will go to any length to make sure that they get money to for their children to survive. And
Right.
then the government has um, to look into this case. They have to make a research on what is going on with this the family, that especially those people that come from that has no paper, what they are going through. If they can do research and know what they are going through, and then they will know that that is part of thing that is affecting their children. And then and secondly, concerning the asylum issue and the paper issue that you have said, I
Right.
think I think I support those people that say it's Africa, that's our people that are more in it. But in other case, our people, especially let me talk of Nigerians,
Right.
we are many in
Right.
this country. We are many in this country, and then because we are many, it might
Right.
happen. It's because of the population. You understand?
Right.
Because we are many, it might happen. Like, but it doesn't mean that we are the one that is more or bad about. But because we are many, it happens. You understand?
That's true.
Like other community, they might not mean like in Southeast London. We have a lot of Nigerians. So if anything happen where your community have more, it will affect the highest community,
Yeah.
highest populated community.
Yes.
That's why you are seeing Nigeria out of the 10, you will see Nigeria 5 or 6 because we are the. So we should not base it on that because we are populated. That one is it. But the other one is that the government should please look at this thing, go into it deeply. What our parents are going through that makes them not to take care of their children because they are looking for money.
Yeah.
Because if they don't look for this money to stay, they will just be suffering. Even the children, some of their children that you are seeing, when they don't have paper, they don't have access to go to university. You understand?
That's
They don't
true.
have access, and they will be. I think that's the cause of it. The parents will want their children to go to university at all costs, and then they will go at any length to work in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the night. And in course of doing that, the children will go because the children don't understand all these things.
That's true.
Because I've tried it most of the time. If you call the children in this country, tell them about they don't know about the paper. They don't know about. They just believe their parents um go and work. Even the money they are saying they are paying on one children, you are paying NHS money, you are paying a legal fee, you are paying home office. The children don't care. They don't know. The children are just thinking that their parents are just looking for money every time, every time. That the issue. And the advice I will also give to the parents is that the parents should reduce going to party also.
Right.
And if they reduce going to party, because after you have work very hard and you go to party again, and then the children will not be well taken care of. And then from there, the children will go their way and make friends with those gangs that are not supposed to make friends with.
That's true. Thank you very much. And I'd like to throw that question to you as well. I'm sure you've been on street. You have friends whose parents or they themselves they haven't got any legal right to stay here. So
Yeah.
obviously they like to hustle,
Yeah.
to make their lives and their families' lives a better place. How do you feel this aspect about having immigration? How do you think it really affects a lot of them that makes them go into the gangland and makes the like the women amongst them, try other things like prostitution,
Yeah.
and drugs apart from that one?
Yeah, yeah. I have two friends that ain't got papers,
Right.
and one of them is the only one in the country he ain't got parent with him,
Oh, I see.
and the other one, he has a parent, but a parent also doesn't have paper.
Right.
So like they're struggling so bad to pay rent
Right.
and things like that. Like, and when I met her, I think she was about to start doing like prostitution and that. But
Oh,
she
I
told me
see.
like she's tired, like her friends are going uni, that kind of thing, and that she's just there stuck. She
Right.
can't even get a proper job to work, and the kind of job she get, like cleaning or that kind of thing. And once her boss know that she ain't got paper, they try, and store that kind of thing, and that
Or take advantage.
take advantage of her
Right,
because
yeah.
you know that if she trying to report to the police,
Yeah.
she's gonna get deported, that kind of thing.
Oh, I see.
So they try and take advantage of her. And the guy that I know, he was involved in the crime because that's how he survived.
Right.
Like he joined a gang and he has to, go out and do things, and his keep in that gang for him to, actually get money or that kind of thing.
Right.
Sell weed in that. And the last time I heard about him, he's in prison at the moment because
Oh, I see.
he stabbed someone. So there's a possibility that he could be getting deported. I think if people like that are given like opportunity to get papers in that,
Right.
they could be normal citizen and go get a good job and don't even think about gang. I mean, it's a possibility.
Right.
And yeah, like the
So,
girl.
sorry to cut you off. Do you think that is that fair that if we get caught or if we're doing things, they might deport us? Do you think that's one of the reasons why all these things, everything is being done on the ground?
Yeah.
And what do you think if we as a community, as a society, despite the fact that we're not encouraging anybody to break the law,
Yeah.
what we're trying to do is we're trying to make sure that there will be services provided for these kids. So at least if there's like a curriculum, something we can give to them that they can use individually while they're waiting for their papers, maybe it will be able to help them, get more skills, achieve more things. Do you think that would be a way to go?
Yeah, I think that would be the best way to go. Like, if they can have something to do
Right.
while they're waiting for the paper, I think that would be the best way. Because the girl, like I said, I know, she's just always home. She doesn't do nothing.
I
She
see.
doesn't even go out because she has anxiety.
I see.
She's always scared that something will happen and she might get caught and she might get deported, and she doesn't want to get deported because she doesn't know in Nigeria.
I
So you should go back there. Like she told me herself, she should go back there. Allah is ruined basically.
Right.
Where's she going to start from? What's she going to do?
That's
that kind
true.
of thing. Innit?
Yes.
So I think if there's something, the government can provide something for people like that. I mean, young people. I mean, I don't know about old people. But young people, they can provide something for them.
Yeah.
They won't look into joining a gang or doing things, illegal. They shouldn't be doing it in the first place.
I see. Oh, thank you very much for that. I know there's been a lot of comments coming through. There's a lot of people that I'd like to answer back. So just give me a couple of minutes and I'll be able to, throw the questions to both gentlemen that are here. But before we do that, there's another question that I'd like to throw at you, Mr. Ojasope. Is basically, how can we encourage all these youth to join political parties, to have a voice in what we're doing right now in politics, to have a voice in their own future, simply because we know they've got a lot of ideas, but there's no platform for them to bring it in. And there's a lot of them that have already joined all these political groups too. But how can we create that balance? How can we, bridge the gap between us and politicians now? Because most of the politicians don't understand our culture and they're not from where we are. How can we bridge that gap and explain to them, you understand, that there are better ways to go than just arming yourself with knives and guns?
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm privileged to be in a political party in this country. I'm privileged to have moved with them in this country, especially in the southwest London. We don't have enough people.
Yeah.
And then I would like to tell you that the politicians, they are very happy, and then they want many youths and many people to join them, irrespective of race, ethnic, wherever you come from.
Right.
They are very happy to see people coming to them.
Right.
Even when you are with them, they will ask you a lot of questions, a lot about you. And then if you have any help, if you need any help, they are ready to help you. Because I was with a political party, we are campaigning in UK here.
Right.
And then they asked me what kind of job I'm doing. I told them and that I'm not well paid and I'm doing this, I'm doing that. They are ready to help me. They go as far as getting me a good job, and they even text me that, Jasope, we've gotten you a good job that is a good pay. That this borough is in charge of the care company. That will you be able to work with them, which is good things. Which is good thing. I think if our youth, you understand, can join this political race,
right,
I think their voice will be heard through there. Because we have MPs, we have councillors, we have a lot of our leaders in this country that are within the party,
right,
who wants us to have a belonging, within the society. And then if you can join them, if our youth can join them, even if you don't have paper or whatever, they don't care, they don't ask about that one. When you are joining a political party, just join them, and then when you join them, you'll be able to psychologically, you'll be able to reason like a leader, and you'll be able to learn from what they are doing, and learning from what they are doing, the way they are leading the country. You will see the way they interact with people. You will see the way they talk to people, the way people, and then from there, you too, you can bring up your problem. You understand what you are going through. You can tell them, and then from there, they can use it as a policy. You understand? All this what we are talking about now. If you can join the movement, even some movement are society like youth movement. There's another youth movement apart from political party. There are a lot of youth movement that you people can join. The youth can join it, and by the time you join it, you'll be able to learn from there. You'll be able to seek for an advice, and then there are a lot of help. A lot of charity organizations are there that you can join. They can help you out. You understand? They can help you out. I think if they join this political party, it will be an advantage. You understand? And then the political party can see what people are going through. They can table it in the house or in their political distance to make a good law for you. We are talking about asylum, the youth that doesn't have paper, that cannot go to school, that stuck in the colleges. By the time these people hear them, because some of them in the political terrain, they don't know what these people are going through. They don't know what you are going through. That's I think political political gathering is one of the systems that our youth can get what they want, and they will be forget about the killing or doing gang. I think it's the best gang I believe that can shape the children, our youth life, is a political. So I've joined them, and then they always encourage you to get a good job. They want to know what, even if you talk to them, they will be able to bring up what can make your life to change, rather than joining your friends gang that are not leading, that destroy your life. You can join the political political party. I think it's a very good idea for our children to be heard.
Thank you very much, and thank you very much for the viewers that's watching. Once again, please keep sending your questions, keep sending the queries. I'm trying as much as possible to get to that one here, and as soon as I'm able to get to that one, we'll be addressing that issue. But before that happens, can I ask you, Mr. Ajidagba, and what sort of programs and music do you watch that influence you positively and help with your culture and how you relate with other culture? What sort of programs do you think we can can you recommend to all these youths that they should be watching? Because we want to stop. We need to start resetting them to let them know that violence is not everything. There's other things that we have in the society now that we can structure that will be able to make you be as positive as possible.
The sort of program that I watch, I read a lot of news.
Right.
And I read a lot of business type news and watch business type program, because I'm very business minded. I want to start my own business.
Right.
Also, I listen to different kind of music, like from rap and then that. Like you said, what sort of program should youth listen to impact them positively?
Yes.
I think reality TV.
Oh, right.
So they'll see what's going on out there and the impact that what they do and discussing mothers and parents and that.
So, sorry, when you say reality TV, are there any ideas that you have in mind that we could structure, to help them? Because part of the project we're building now, I know some of it will be revolving around that. We've got things in the woodwork, for like reality shows, which can help them when it comes to business and science and technology, art. But what other places? How can we structure it for them to be able to gain the best impact when it comes to shows like those?
So you said what sort of program can we?
Yeah, like reality TVs. Can we base it on to make them realize that this violence, like you say, is real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think just everyday thing that happen in the community, basically, like there are broken homes, moms on crack and things like that, and what someone in that situation could do
Right.
to better themselves
Right.
and get out of that community, that bad community. I think there could be things like that.
Right.
And what kind of repercussion being a gang carrying a knife, hanging around people with, that do that kind of thing, or kind of repercussion that could have on you as an individual, and in a long time as well. I think if there could be programs like that, teach you about things like that, I think it will help a lot.
It will help a lot.
Yeah.
That leads me to another question. How can we encourage the politicians? How can we encourage them to understand the kids? But more importantly, how can we encourage the youth who are associated with gangs? How can we encourage them to come around and join, the politics, the mainstream politics that we have now, so they can lend their voices, to what's happening now, and see how we can change, and reset a couple of things that will be to their advantage.
I think the best way to do it is, I don't know, like pay them to do it or something like that.
Right.
Invite them over and pay them for the time, that kind of thing. Because most of them are mainly doing this for the money anyway.
Right.
So if they keep doing something good and they can still getting that same money, I'm sure they'll rather do that. Because they know themselves what they're doing is bad, and they could get killed themselves. Right. And if they know that they could do something better and get that same amount of money, right, and they won't get killed, the possibility of them getting killed is low now. I'm sure they'll take that opportunity instead. And I also think when you've come out of prison,
right,
there should be programs for them. Instead of just, because I know some people just come out of prison and the government just leave them to do what they want to do.
Right.
Like, there's nothing for them. Like, there should be programs for them to try to get them back to society and encourage them that the way that, they took before is not the best way, and there could be other ways and other things they could do.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Which leads me to a question that I'll be asking Mr. Ojasokwe. I tend to see most of these youths on streets the way they are because they've already come out, they're dealing in drugs, they're hanging there at night. I normally tend to call them self-employed because in their own ways, they're not really aware. If we're going to put it to how we are now, if you're going out at night selling drugs and doing all those things, you're already self-employed. You're just not paying NI. You've got bosses at the top, so you're contracted to them. You see, those are the ones that take care of the other things around you. Now, these are part of the things that we're looking into to make sure that these skills that they have, that they're using on streets, to see how we can bring that into different skills and activities and equip them with better ways, activity. Make them, for example, like he says, he reads about business and stuff. Bring it out from the streets, make them read, be more aware, be more business savvy. So that way, when we try to get them legitimate businesses, they're already equipped. How can we go about doing this?
Well, thank you. I think, first of all, the government will have to bring out a policy,
right,
that will interest the youth. The youth, even those who are in the prison now, who is going to come out, and those who are serving community, whatever, that they should have a policy that will encourage them to leave other stuff they are doing, like selling drugs and so forth.
Right.
Because there was a time, last time, that this incident happened. The mayor of London said he's trying to raise a fund. You understand that any one of them that have a business idea, that they're going to raise a fund, that they should come over, and then maybe they will assist them and
right,
they start a good business, so that because they won't be idle, because when they are idle, that is when the crime will. And then for those of them that are selling drugs and do all those sorts of things, the government can have a bigger stuff of business.
I'm so sorry to cut you off there. One of the things that I believe in it shouldn't just be left to the government, because this is a community thing. And one of the things I'm trying to do now is to speak to a lot of religious houses, wherever the religion is, because I feel most of us, that's like our social venue, that's where we go. So what are the things that maybe places like churches can step up as well, can step up to help the government out with issues like this. Because if I seem to remember correctly, Leke, after what happened to you, I think it was a church that came out and helped you as well. What was the name of the church, and could you go through what they did for you a bit?
After it happened, the church came to see me. The name was Spark Nation.
Right.
They're mainly involved in things like this anyway. Youth that have been stabbed, or gang members that want to change their life around.
Right.
They come there and they go through their process and that. And yeah, they just took me through it. Introduced me to other people that have been in gang. People my age or people a bit older than me.
Right.
And yeah, we talked through things. And I got to know them and I make some good friends from there.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for church to get involved as well.
Right.
Yeah, just not leave it to the government, not to the parents as well.
Yeah. So will that the church, the
Black Nation,
will it be somewhere you can see yourself, envision yourself, visiting or joining? And if the answer is no, what's the reason?
To be honest, no, I don't see myself going there in a long time. Right. When I was growing up, my mindset of church is different to them. What they practice there.
Right.
Like I've seen the church, like in the church and that, some of them went bad clovers and that. And when I see things like that, it brings up memory of what happened to me. Like I said, the people that came out of the car wearing bad clovers, that kind of thing.
Right.
So when I see them in the church, like I see I see youth and that, and the choir member wearing bad clovers and doing things like you see in gang videos and that. Like
right.
I don't want to be associated with that kind of church, or want to see my friends go to that kind of church. I mean, what they're doing is right. They're doing it for the youth, and it's making a lot of impact. But for me personally, I don't see myself going to that kind of church.
Going there. Well, at least you still appreciated their help when they came, because at least they still did a lot more than majority of us did.
That's true.
I would love to answer most of your questions, but unfortunately, I think I'm having technical difficulties. So, well, please, that shouldn't stop you from sending all your questions in, because even if we cannot deal with it on air now, I'm sure Mr. Leke and Mr. Ojasope will still be able to answer your questions after this show. Another sorry to cut you off before. I just wanted Leke to make that point. So, could you carry on with the point you're making about churches and how they could help out?
Yeah, I was talking about government first, because the first contact whenever this thing happens is government. I think what the government has been trying to do, at least, is all right. They have like the one I said, and that's the mayor of London tried to do, to bring some and raise some funds and then establish for them. I think if they should establish good job, like they will want to leave that hide and seek kind of job they are doing, the legal job. And they will try to tell them that the job they are doing is illegal job. It's legal. How much are they seeing there? Okay, we can pay you more.
Right.
You understand? And then people will see you on the street, and it will be a good job that people will like to. And you too will like to open up to people that you are doing, because the job you are doing, the drug and all the stuff that you are doing, you can't tell people that you are doing drugs.
That's true.
And then you can pay you more. I think the government won. First, the government. The churches too, they are trying, because I have some churches that are doing charity and then trying to, like the church that called him, a lot of churches are doing it. Try to.
And we have another one as well, non-governmental organization,
NGO.
Disciple Church of Christ Ministries as well. They're part of us, and they're helping all the youth.
Like that Disciple Church of
CCC Parish.
The owner of the church is also part of us and is doing fine. And then a lot of people should come up with a program, a different kind of program. Maybe they should create a awareness or seminar. Everyone should come together to make it forceful. You understand?
Right.
Don't do it individual. Most of the church can make a conference and invite most of our children to the seminar, maybe yearly, in order to be educating them, and then not only educating, encourage them with whatever they have. If there is a business like now, you are doing drugs, you can't tell anybody because it's very easy to make money. But if there is a church, there is a seminar that can say, okay.
let me hold it there for now,
Alright.
Mr.
Okay.
Ojasope, because we'll be going on a short break.
Okay.
So please, we will still be coming back to all
Alright
the
then.
things you're saying,
Okay.
but we need to go on a short break.
Alright.
Once again, my name is Toyin Morafa, and you're listening to Voice of the Voiceless. With me is Mr. Leke Ajidagba, and on the other side, you have Mr. Olumide Ojasope. So we're going on a short break, and we'll be right back.
Heritage Television. Promoting African culture and heritage at its best. From talk shows that concern you to both local and international news that relates to you. From grassroots football to African children's programs. Heritage Television. We cover your social and special events like weddings, birthdays, church anniversaries, and so on, and broadcast them live on our apps and online. Heritage Television, broadcasting everything about culture and heritage. Heritage Television. We've got it covered. Do download our apps on both Android, iOS, and Windows mobile platform. Heritage Television, your very own TV station.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for joining us. My name is Toyin Morafa, and we're still dealing with Voice of the Voiceless. This is a program that deals with the youth gang violence. I've been able to get a couple of comments which I'll be reading out now. I'd like to say thank you very much to Ibukwaino, who sent us a comment saying well done. Thank you very much. Well, Cyril Bolaji, Professor, great job. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ola Temidayo, for watching with us. Temitokwe says, awesome, please keep it up so that we can eradicate knife crime in UK. That's part of what we're trying to do here. We're trying to see how we can combat it. Thank you very much for your comment. But I must say, Kazim Adeyemi says, this is good. This is happening due to the I must make it by all means, not minding the effects of the negligence on the future of the kids. Kudos to you, Olumaisi. Thank you very much for that. Ibukua Aino says, more of this program, good job. With your help and support, we'll be able to spread the word around to see how we can help and educate these children. Oluwatoyin Olaya, thank you very much for watching. We parents need to take good care of our children and be prayerful. Let's all parents share this. You might just be saving a life. Yes, and we might be giving hope to youth that they believe that the situations are hopeless. Babarinde Ishola says volume please, we cannot hear it. We're trying to sort that out for you. Well, thank you very much, my friend. Remileko Adebinkwe Olumide is watching. Thank you for all the support that you're giving us. Temitokwe says God should intervene, and that's part of what we're praying for. And we're hoping that the community should band together as well we should all stand as one and help these kids. The main thing the kids need, they need help and support. Sometimes it's not about beating them, or it's not about giving them a bad name and letting them hang. It's how to make sure that they live constructive lives, and that's why the community must band together. Um, Oluwatoyolaya says, "Thank God for your life, boy." That's you, Baby Leke. God will continue to guide and protect you in Jesus' name. Joy Olariwaju says, "Let this go viral to save life. Please like and share as much as possible. As a project, we're very young, but we're happy from wherever we get any help from, the community. This is a community project. It doesn't belong to anybody. That's one of the reasons why we're here, trying to spread the news out there." Mr. Dayo Olomu is watching with us. Thank you very much. We hope to have you next week. Right now, that leads me to some questions again. Yeah, Baby Leke. I don't want you to keep reliving the experience, but I just want you to go into details a bit. When it happened to you, how did you feel? If it was other people, why do you think they will have, taking vengeance rather than seeking help? At least in your case, you had a couple of people around you that was able to support you, where a lot of them don't have it. What steps can we take to make sure that these kids too, whether they're victims or perpetrators, there'll be a support system, a constructive support system, for them?
So can you read the question again?
How can we be able to help, especially when kids, whether they're the victims, whether they're the ones stabbing or the ones being stabbed, anytime that they need help, how can we be able to recognize it and be able to provide them with a positive support system?
I think something like that is already implemented already, like in the form of community youth service and that, or community service in the area and that. I think some of that are already implemented. But I think for people that was been a victim of crime, like me, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't receive no help at all. From the government. After it happened, like no one called me basically. Like if I was someone that is very wicked, I would say, you know what, no one cared. I was just gonna get my own revenge back and just do my own thing. After someone just do that to me and nothing's happening about it. But because I know the fear of God, I know that if you do something, the likelihood of that thing happening back to you or someone that's in your family in the future is high. So I know that there's no point of getting revenge on that. If it's someone else, the possibility of them getting revenge is high, especially if they're involved in that kind of lifestyle anyway.
Right. Well, before you were attacked, were you aware of the gang problem in your area? Was it like very, very high?
Yeah, I mean, there's people that have been in prison in my area and like close friends and that arrest for gun crime, that kind of thing and that, and street winning and that. And also I think this was like 2 years ago. There's a guy that was very, very close to me. His name was Sadiq. He lives in Stockholm as well, and yeah, like he was just chill, from what I've heard anyway. He was just chilling, speaking to I think one of his friends, and another gang from another area came and on a motorbike, and they put out a gun and shot him.
Right.
Like if I was someone that that's very crazy or something like that, I would have went back and kind of because someone told me it was a gang from an area not too far from mine.
Right.
Like if I was someone that's involved in that kind of lifestyle, I could have went back and get revenge.
For that
and I'm sure that people in that gang anyway, must went back and get their own revenge. So yeah.
Well, when this happened to you and when things like that happen to you, definitely as a human being, you wanted to get out there and do something about it. What stopped you? What prevented you? Is it your family? Is this something to do with yourself? And how can we use this to try and stop other people? Rather than getting revenge, we would like it to be productive.
After it happened to me, I'm not gonna lie, I was thinking about revenge and that. Because like I said earlier, there's people around me that I know that they was telling me, Michael, or some of them is Michael, some of them is Leke.
Right.
It was like, Michael, let's go and let's go do something back. You can't just let it slide away like that. They can't just get away with it, that kind of thing. Right. But my mom, like, when I said it, I was thinking like, if I go there and I try something, something could happen to me,
Right.
and my mom could lose me. And imagine the state that she would be in. You know,
Right.
she nearly lost me first, then she actually lost me. I know. Like I just thought to myself like, if I go there and try and go revenge, something could end up happening to myself,
Right.
or something could happen to her. And imagine, the way I'll feel about it. If it might, because I know some of this youth, they don't care. Like some of them are just crazy. I don't know what they do or what turns them into this. Well, they don't care. They could attack your little brother, your little sister. They could attack your family. They don't care. If you do something to them, they could come back to you, attack anyone that you know. Like,
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So was that the main thing that prevented you from
Yeah,
being
like
angry?
just the fact that I don't want to see my mom cry. I want to make her proud. Because
Right.
I know that she suffered a lot with
Right.
me and my brothers, and I just want to make her proud. That's it. Yeah.
Thank you. And that leads me to a question to you, Mr. Ojasope. Like we said, a lot of these kids, they come from like single homes, single mothers that are trying their best, trying so hard, to make sure that they're okay. So, judging from what Leke said now, how can we be able to encourage them, to help them, to make them come out, stand out, seek assistance without the fear of, deportation or injustice?
Yeah, I think the community, as we've said it, the community and the church, an individual like I do the guy Leke, I thank God for his life, for sparing his life. When the incident happened, at least he has a good family behind him that helps this thing out. Like me too, and uh, voice of voiceless also, and some other people that come around him. He was even annoyed that the police, the government, nobody comes to him. But because we people as a community, we rally around him, and he's a good guy, we know that he's not a violent boy. And then he has promised us that he will be calm, and then thank God for him. And then what I would advise, as he has said, I'm really motivated with the last, what he said last, that he don't want to lose his mom, his they can attack his family if he go back to revenge. His mom can lose him, and then what his mommy has gone through, and he don't want his mommy to cry because his mom has tried for him and his family. So if some of our youth are thinking the way this guy has thought, I think by now they will be changing, their mind will be changing. Please help us share this program. It's very important, especially the last um the last word that Leke has just said. I think it can motivate a lot of family, a lot of guys, a lot of people, because that's the key to it. The key to reduce the violence is what Leke has said. If you look at your mom is struggling. Try to look at why your mom is struggling like that. You understand? You know there will be a reason. And if you want to pay your mom in a good coin, what you'll have done is just make sure that you are a crime-free children and you make your mom proud. That is the key of it. That's the only advice. Because whenever I go to Leke's house or I go to many of our community people, I talk to the children. I'll tell them that they have opportunity in this country that many in Africa don't have. So if you are thinking that this country is bullshit, you don't care. No. If you go back to Africa, if you can go back to Africa, you will realize that you have a potential, you have opportunity, and you have to. So that is what we did, and Leke has seen to it. All of us as a parent, even if this is not your child, if it's not your family, and you know that something bad is happening in that family, you can go in there and talk to these children. Tell them this is the way of life. Life is not like this. If all of us, as a brother, as a sister, as a family, as a community leader, as a church, as a Muslim community, if you can come together and always come together to have a seminar or a seminar or something, maybe once in a year or quarterly, and inviting these children, we have to entice them with some things to let them come. So because if these children, they like good things, we have to prepare some good things for them, that come, they are going to be a goodies in the event. And then when they get there, you give them a lot of.
So you're talking about incentives.
Yeah,
something
incentive.
That can bring them
yeah,
out
that
the
can
house.
bring them out. Yeah, if we have a seminar or a program for them, we should be having it, in fact, quarterly half a yearly or yearly. We should be doing it for our children, especially those children that come from this crime area. You know, maybe in the community center will be, and then when they come there, we'll be giving them some incentive, not money really, but something that they that they will like. And then when they come there, you talk to them, and then by the time we talk to them, by the time they get home, back home, even we have to be giving them a reality show, not a movie this time around. You tell them this is a documentary, this is what has happened to some people. Maybe we can get that one, the package, and let them see it live, the way it happened, the way a whole family is destroyed because of the gang or because of violence. Because if you are alive, there is hope. That is my hope.
That's good. Thank you very much for that, Mr. Ojasope. Like I said, keep sending questions, keep sending your support. We appreciate everything here. If you know of any troubled youth, people that want to seek help, if you know of any ladies, any women, any parents that is going through all this and they would like external assistance, you don't have to go to the government alone. This is the reason why we're here. This is why the project is here. So feel free to to contact us and we'll be able to look into it. Every life matters. Every life is the same. We will fight for every life, just like I'm fighting for my own. That is a promise I can guarantee you today. But once again, I want to say thank you to both the gentlemen that came here to talk about, to expose this violence and see how we can eradicate it. Thank you very much, Mr. Leke. I know there's so many things we'll be able to do, so many projects that will be joining, and very soon, hopefully, you'll be one of our youth coordinators.
Amen.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ojasope. You've always been helpful from day one, and I know we're running this project together. We'll like, to invite you maybe some other time to come and join the show so that you'll be able to give us more, to make us more aware and give us more solutions. Thank you very much to the viewers for watching. That's all that we have today. Once again, my name is Toyin Morafa, and I hope to see you next week. Have a good afternoon, everyone.
Heritage Television. Promoting African culture and heritage at its best. From talk shows that concern you to both local and international news that relates to you. From grassroots football to African children's programs. Heritage Television. We cover your social and special events like weddings, birthdays, church anniversaries, and so on, and broadcast them live on our apps and online. Heritage Television, broadcasting everything about culture and heritage. Heritage Television. We've got it covered. Do download our apps on both Android, iOS, and Windows mobile platform. Heritage Television, your very own TV station.